Hi, Courtney. Hola. Espero que esté bien, chico. Vamos a practicar para su examen de lección 6 mañana. Me voy a compartir contigo mi pantalla. Okay. And share. Okie dokie. Let's see. So I see that you have a couple things that you have to do for the exam. You have to do some listening activities where you listen to a store advertisement and answer true or false questions. Vocabulary, you're going to have to just know your vocabulary, definitely review it in sections. It's going to be very important because you'll need it for the listening and the vocabulary section and for this matching section with the vocab. Okay, then grammar. You're going to have to conjugate in the preterite tense. And also you need to know these verbs in the preterite, or I'm assuming just know these verbs. Fill in the blank activity about the preterite. We have 5 sentences. You must conjugate the verb given in the past tense. Study about your grammar. Okay, I got you on here. And then you're going to have to rewrite 4 sentences and add an indirect object pronoun to each. For example, yo compro una camiseta para mi hermano. I bought a t-shirt for my brother. We'll learn about what that indirect object pronoun does. Let's see, we have writing. You're going to answer 6 personal questions using the present and the past tense. Answers must be written in full sentences. You should be familiar with these verbs. Llevar, ser. Llevar, I believe, means to arrive. Ser is to be. Poder is to be able to or can. And it's stem changing. It's that O to UE. We have regatear. I can't remember if that means to re-gift or I forgot what that verb is. We got preferir, to prefer, pagar, to pay, ir. Okay. And you also need to know the verb gastar, which means to spend in the past. Reading, you're going to read a description of a store at a mall, answer 6 multiple choice questions. And also we have la cultura. So what I believe that you need to really focus on, Courtney, is your vocabulary. You need to focus on vocabulary, most of all, in addition to conjugating in the preterite tense. Okie dokie. So we have, this is your vocabulario. These are a list of things of ropa, clothing. We have some verbos. Ir de compras is to go shopping. You're gonna need to just really look over, honestly, these 2 sections, la ropa and ir de compras. Okay. In addition to your other ones, but I want you to be able to memorize a lot of these words. Okay, you need to go like 3 in a row and then quiz yourself. Learn 3 more in a row, quiz yourself. Like el abrigo, coat. Los blue jeans, jeans. La blusa, blouse. La bolsa, purse. La bota, boot. Okay, let me start again. El abrigo, coat. Los blue jeans, jeans. La blusa, blouse. La bolsa, purse. La bota, boot. Los calcetines, socks. La camisa, shirt. La camiseta, t-shirt. La cartera, wallet. And then you start from the top. Like, tell yourself, make a number, let's say 5, and you're gonna review 5. Okay, you're gonna learn 5. You're gonna review them, and then you're gonna learn 5 more. And then you start from the top and you review. You learn 5, you review them one more time, and then you add them to the top and you go all the way back down to wherever point you stopped at. That's the way that has been really helpful for me when I was learning a lot of vocabulary. But it's going to be very helpful for you. Okay, vamos a hablar sobre los indirect object pronouns. Los indirect object pronouns, los pronombres indirectos, always refer to people, okay? This is important that you get this down, Courtney, because you'll next have to learn how to combine indirect object pronouns and direct object pronouns, which refer to non-living things. So indirect object pronouns are always referring to people. And I put in parentheses, they refer to the person who's receiving the action. Okay, so an indirect object pronoun tells you to whom or for whom something is done. You can find the indirect object pronoun in a sentence by asking yourself, who is this for? Whom was this action done? So usually indirect object pronouns, think to me, to she or to her, to him, to us, to them. They're all about people. Okay, here are your indirect object pronouns. You're going to memorize them. You got to be able to write these down when you have your test. Me, te, le, nos, les. 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 Me, me, te, you, le, you formal, him, her, nos, nosotros, us, les, for them or you all. Okay, I always like to include little diagrams and charts because it's just easy. It helps you just get a quick snapshot of what you need to know. I just have this written down again, but we got some examples. So like I said, in order to find the indirect object pronoun, you have to ask yourself, to whom is this for? To whom is this to whom is this verb for, basically? So let's see. We got, I may have cut that off. Oh, here we go. Gabriel le compró una rosa a Anita. Gabriel le compró una rosa a Anita. For whom did Gabriel buy a rose? We're looking for the person, and we know it's Anita. The answer is for Anita. Therefore, the indirect object is Anita, and the matching indirect object pronoun is le, because the person is a girl, and she's singular, so it has to be le. Okay? Let's continue. Yeah, so what the sentence would look like, which you would probably on your test, you're going to have to do some converting from a sentence that looks like this to a sentence that looks like this. It's the reason why we use the indirect object pronouns and direct object pronouns is to make life easier when you're speaking Spanish, because Spanish sentences can get so long, and it's like, what can we do to shorten it up? Well, use your indirect object pronouns and your direct object pronouns. So on your test, you're probably going to be given sentences that look like this. Gabriel le compró una rosa a Anita. And your professor is going to be like, you need to use the indirect object pronoun to convert the sentence. So the sentence now is, Gabriel le compró una rosa. Okay. We see that the le is still here. It's here in this sentence, but it may not be there on your test. So if we cancel that out. So Gabriel compró una rosa a Anita. What's the indirect object? Anita. She is the one receiving the action. So we're always going to put that indirect object pronoun before the conjugated verb. The sentence would not sound right if we were to say, Gabriel compró le una rosa. Nope. It always goes before the conjugated verb. This verb right here is comprar, to buy. Okay, so just to summarize, indirect object pronouns always refer to people. They include me, te, le, nos, les. And they are able to be identified after you read the sentence and you ask yourself, to whom is this done for? Who is the person receiving this action? And once you identify who it is it singular? Is it plural? Is it nosotros? Is it them? Is it he, she? Is it me? Then you know what indirect object pronoun to use. And you always put it before the conjugated verb. Okay, let's see if we have a practice quiz. I think this is using them together. Let's see.
¿Viste a Miguel, Jazmín? Está ya hablando con Paulina en la barra. Sí, lo vi nada más entrar en el bar, Micaela.
Well, this is including direct object pronouns too. So let's see if there's just indirect object pronouns quiz. Oh, here we go. I'll fix this link so you have just this one. Let's see if we have just indirect object pronouns. Yes. Copy. Okay, let's do this. So we got mi padre blank compra un helado los domingos.
Mi padre compra un helado los domingos.
Okay. We know that we can cancel out which one is the correct answer because me is demonstrative adjective, but me is indirect object pronoun.
Mando un mensaje esta tarde.
Okay. T, nope. Te is one of our indirect object pronouns.
Mi moto.
Okay. Te presto mi moto or presto te. What did I tell you, Courtney? We always need to make sure that the indirect object pronoun goes before or after the conjugated verb. It goes before. So you can use that note and know that that's wrong. This is right.
Abuela, ¿das mi sándwich?
Abuela, ¿me das? Or yo das mi sándwich? Nope. Me das.
¿Das?
Okay. Me lo das. Now this one, it'd be me lo das.
¿Corto el pelo?
Ni hablar.
Is it too corto el pelo? Nope. Te corto el pelo.
Mi novia. Cartas largas.
Okay, and also coordinate with these are the most simple sentences using an indirect object pronoun. In this case, it's just wanting to make sure that you know what your pronouns are versus simplifying sentences. So we have mi novia me escribe cartas largas. Always goes before.
¿Llevo las bolsas?
Verb.
Sí, por favor.
Okay. Is it two? Nope. Te. Go ahead and practice some of these. Okay, now we got the pretérito, the past tense. It's very important that you understand this because you're going to have to know another past tense conjugation, and then it can get confusing. So it's important that you kind of get this now, Courtney. And it's okay if you don't, because I got you. So preterite conjugation, we have our AR ending verbs, and we have our ER and IR ending verbs. And just like the similar to the present tense, the ER and IR, they basically share the same thing, the same endings. But especially for the preterite, they're just the same. ER and IR verbs for normal non-irregular verbs, they have the same endings. So AR, you have tú, haste, usted, él, ella, o. Nosotros, amos. Ustedes, ellos, ellas, arrón. Haste, o, amos, arrón. I want you to make sure you write this down. As soon as you get your test, these are two endings that I would expect you to write down on your test because you want to be able to remember them because it's just a matter of memorization, but sometimes it's a little bit tricky at first, and I understand that. So, dude, take a snapshot memory of these, and when you get your test, write it down at the top. Before you even look over all the tests, I like to write down as much information as I remember that needs to be memorized. So AR verbs, the preterite endings are haste, o, amos, arrón. Haste, o, amos, arrón. ER and IR verbs, they end in iste, yo, imos, hierron. Iste, yo, imos, hierron. So you have some examples. Ya te bañaste, Paul? You've already bathed, Paul? Laura habló conmigo. Laura talked with me. Ayer no bebí café. Yesterday I did not drink coffee. Alicia vivió en Madrid. Alicia lived in Madrid. Okay, this is just reaffirming all the endings. Use whichever chart or description I attached here that helps you the most. Again, AR verbs. Sing it with me. Haste, o, amos, arrón. Haste, o, amos, arrón. And be careful of where you put your accent marks. Because, let's say, because you don't want to get confused with like possible present tense endings, which don't have any accents, besides the nosotros form. Well, actually, they have no accents, excuse me. Just be careful of your accent position. In Spanish, an accent is called tilde. Haste, o, amos, arrón. Iste, yo, imos, arrón. They're really similar. The usted, el, ella form for the ER-IR, it just has an I. The tilde is the same for both. We know that both the yo forms, preterite, they both have an accent over them. It's pretty good. Okay, so we do have some irregulars, and these irregulars only happen just for the yo form. In the preterite, just the yo form. The rest of the time, we are going to be using the prefix, not the prefix, but the ending that it actually ends in, like car, gar. So for the word, we're going to use the word buscar, and that's what this is. For verbs that end in car, in the preterite, just for the yo form, this C will change to QU. Okay? QUE. For verbs that end in GAR, the G changes to G. So we have C to QU, G to GU. For ZAR verbs, the Z changes to a C. So we have like almorcé. I'll show you an example. I got almorzar right here. Almorzar means to have lunch. We're going to look over and click on conjugation. And we scroll down, and we see the preterite. So you see in red, it shows you the irregularities. So when I told you that the words that end in gar, zar, kar, they only have an irregular in the yo form, the first person yo form. All of the rest actually keep that ending, zar, kar, gar. So for this one, almozar, we have that Z changes to a C. And we keep the regular AR preterite endings. So it's almoce. But you see how the rest of them are the same? Almozaste, almorzó, almorzamos, almorzaron. They're all the same. Okay, we got, let's try one. Let's try. And now we looked over ZIR ending verbs in the preterite. Now let's do llegar, means to arrive or to come. We look at the preterite. It's an example. You see that GAR, that G changes from a G to a GU. GU. And then we keep that AR endings of the preterite. So it's llegaste, llegó, llegamos, llegaron. You only see that irregular in that yo form. And then we got the car endings, that C changes to a QUE. So it's busqué for the word buscar. And let's check that out. Okay, so we're looking at, that's the subjunctive. Let's go to preterite. You see, we have the BUSCAR. That C changes to a QU. Then we keep the AR preterite endings. Busqué, buscaste, buscó. Buscamos, buscaron. Okay, so that's the preterite. I got some more examples. Oh yeah, I conjugated them all the way through. Just more examples. So you can see that the irregular only happens in the yo form. So before I move on, I just want to reaffirm that what you need to memorize are these endings. AR verb endings. Aste, o, amos, aron. ER and I are preterite endings. Iste, io, imos, ieron. It's very important that you get this down because you're going to have a couple more irregulars you're going to be learning. And if you don't know what the regular standard is for normal words, it's going to be hard. Take a snapshot and write it down when you get your test. And I suggest that you write them down like on paper tonight. Just practice, write it down. So these are some words that you just needed to know, and that you'll need to conjugate. So we have poder. So this is in the present tense. Poder, I'll show you. I love Spanish dictionary, Spanish dicts, because you can literally look up so much. It's so helpful. So we have poder, to be able to or can. We go down to conjugation. You look for what you're looking for. We see that it is an O to UE stem change. So we can just take this. Let's see if we can copy it. Oh, no. But you could do it like, it's best to just write it actually, dude. So our endings are going to be, and maybe I need to reaffirm what the endings are for you for the normal present tense. so you don't get confused with the present tense. Okay, so present tense, poder. We know that it is and it is an O2. O to UE stem change. So we would see the ending because we're looking at it's an AR verb, o, as, a, amos, ananan. Puedo, puedas, pueda, podemos, podemos, sorry, podamos, puedan. Oops, pueden. Okay. Recastear. Oh, to bargain. Yes, regatean. To bargain. And this is a normal, has no irregulars, no sim changes. I want you to finish the rest of these. So. Okay, and I'll have you finish the rest of these. I did do ear in the present tense. You need to conjugate these in the preterite. Leer, recatear, comenzar, buscar, aprender. I put the parentheses here so you can put the definition and if it sim changes to help you. And I think this is good for you to do. It helps you remember it. Then you need to know your panorama cultural. Honestly, I feel like the most important things to know is that la capital de Cuba is La Habana. This is okay. I think the most important thing is on the second page. So este está hablando sobre el baile, the dance, and the national dance is the ballet. So the national dance of Cuba is ballet. And la bailarina Alicia Alazón, she founded the National Ballet Company in Cuba in 1948. She also was a ballerina in New York and on Broadway, well known nationally. And el baile nacional de Cuba es famoso en todo el mundo por su creatividad y perfección técnica. It's just well respected for its creativity and its perfection and its technicality. So that's about the dance. Economía, la caña de azúcar y el tobacco. La caña de azúcar es el producto agrícola que más se cultiva en la isla y su exportación es muy importante para la economía del país. El tabaco que se usa para fabricar los famosos purros cubanos es otro cultivo de mucha importancia. The tobacco is really important. The sugar cane is very important agricultural crop, and it is the most cultivated crop on the island, and it's very important for its economy. gente, la población cubana tiene raíces muy heterogéneas. La inmigración a la isla fue determinante desde la colonia hasta medianos del siglo XX. Los cubanos de hoy son descendientes de africanos, europeos, chinos, antianos, entre otros. So this is most importantly saying that the people of Cuba are so mixed. They are descended from Africanos, Africans, Europeans, Chinese, los chinos, and even the other Antillanos, other Antilles or like islands. They're all mixed, very heterogeneous. En al final tenemos la música, Buena Vista Social Club. En 1996 nace el fenómeno musical conocido como Buena Vista Social Club. Ese proyecto reúne a un grupo de importantes músicos de Cuba, la mayoría ya mayores, con la larga trayectoria interpretando canciones clásicas del son cubano. Ese mismo año ganaron un Grammy. Hoy en día estos músicos son conocidos en todo el mundo, en las personas de todas las ciudades bailan al ritmo de su música. So this saying that there's this Buena Vista Social Club. They hey, great. I'm proud of you. Proud of it. Sounds good. Sounds good. Okay, the vibe. So yeah, so the Buena Vista Social Club is like a little band basically, and a lot of them are older now, but they also did a lot of Cuban son. Like that is like a Cuban style of music and dance, and music especially. So they won a Grammy. I feel like that's the most important facts that you need to know, Courtney. And I hope this helped. And feel free to use those links I added for you to review your vocab and the preterite and just practical. I know you're going to do so good. You got this, okay? Talk to you later, dude.